Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus again, and I want to talk with you on some issues that might be enlightening. This morning, we had a heavy snowstorm. Just yesterday, we saw our rooftops. We saw grass and brown grass in the yards, and it's been hidden for so long till that's the only reason it is important to be mentioned at this time. But today, I found myself having to get up real early to shovel the snow from my driveway because they say, well, it's going to be maybe a foot. So if I can get it every 2 inches, I don't have to worry about the struggle of a foot. And I say that because I don't have a snowblower that's working. Well, my subject matter that I want to speak to you on today is MAD, Mutual Assured Destruction. Mutual Assured Destruction. And the reason that I want to talk to you on that subject is evident. Here I am shoveling snow. It's about 5:30, but still kind of dark. And I see a strike of lightning across the sky. And it gets my attention, obviously, because it's just one strike. And then I hear a roar of thunder. And that thunder is not like most thunders that hit quick. This one kept on rolling. And I'm listening as it's rolling. And all of a sudden it rolls for so long it gets me a little frightened. I'm wondering what's going on. And then I'm reminded that just the other day, North Korea had suggested, according to the media, that they were going to do another test with their nukes, with their bomb. And I'm thinking, could this be what's happening right now? The flash was the going off, the detonation, and this roar is the sound, the force of the power behind it? Well, I don't know for sure, but it had me thinking at that time. And then I began to think about why it's so important that North Korea have this bomb. Well, I'm reminded that people thought Saddam Hussein had the bomb. I guess they thought it, they said it, but he didn't. And because he didn't, he brought down, killed, his dynasty was destroyed, all because someone thought he had or said he had weapons. Okay, there's another place where they got weapons, like Russia. Oh, we've been mad with Russia for years over this and over that, but you know what? We don't touch Russia. Why? Because of what is called mutual assured destruction. If Russia decided to attack us or vice versa, when we recognize or they recognize that some heavy danger, nuclear bomb is coming their way or our way, then we're going to release the same thing. And Russia is going to be destroyed, the United States is going to be destroyed, the United States is going to be destroyed, or Russia is going to be destroyed. So these guys got some balance here, something that they can guarantee to one another that they will survive and will not have to be attacked because of their armaments and the arsenal that's in it. Well, other nations that got this type of power don't have to worry about being attacked. But you don't have it, you get whipped in line. So when you hear about Iran wanting it, why not? If we were Iranians, or if we didn't have anything, don't you think we'd be trying to get it? And if we wouldn't be trying to get it, the people would think that we were out of our minds of our nation, wouldn't they? Come on now, so let's be reasonable. Let's be rational. Now, this here mutual assured destruction didn't just start. Understand that it started in the beginning. You see, mutual assured destruction is like a cancer. You can be fine, but that cancer sets in. And if you don't do something to get rid of it, it's going to eventually wear you out. Things that are not proper will rot, cause things to rot. And if it's not fixed, whatever was well at one time is now rotting out. Well, when I said a moment ago, this began in heaven, or history says it, or the story goes that things were fine in heaven. And then there was one, Lucifer, or whatever, angel of light, whatever you want to call him, decided something different and started championing it. Ended up getting kicked out because heaven wasn't going for that. All right, now we see that same old cancerous attitude, happened in heaven. And so it had to go, or heaven would have been destroyed. Then we come down here to Adam and Eve. What happens? You got the instruction book, somebody has a cause to violate it, and then they get kicked out of that Garden of Eden. Whatever you describe that Garden of Eden as, they were kicked out of it. So what happens then? You saw where that intervention of that which wasn't proper, which is not part of the design, destroying things. Okay, now you got Adam and Eve out there in society, and now you get a chance to really see what's happening because they have children, according to the story. One was Cain and one is Abel. Now we know if we got any kind of sense of reality or realness based upon our own lives, we obviously understand that one of the kids was loved and hugged and possessed with affection by one of the parents, and the other kid, the opposite parent, expressing these two individuals with different ideas, growing up in these two kids to have the same ideas about life as those who showed them the most affection. And so you see the evidence of that when it causes an aggression that leads to the death of Abel. Leads to the death. Now you see what has happened. It culminates right there with Adam and Eve and their children. Mutual destruction that was set because of these people not loving each other enough to obey God, not loving each other enough to obey the rules that were set for them so that they could teach their kids the same thing. Well, even if they had, that possibility always exists. The challenge to what is proper, the challenge to what's good is always there. So it's not like you wiped it out, even when things are good. It's sitting there to do it, knocking. And so when you look about and think about these kinds of things, you say, well, how could we fix it? Well, let me give you some more examples if I may. When did women actually have designated rights? Was it at creation? Or was it when man said they did? It appears as if it was when man said they did. But the truth of the matter is they were designated those rights at creation. But that idea that's contrary to the will of the Creator is man's selfish idea who wants to control that. But he only released it, ladies and gentlemen, when the women said, we aren't taking it anymore. When they stirred up the action that followed on and led up to it, it was when the women decided. So you got the Creator designating from the beginning. And when those who were being denied said, we're not going to be denied any longer. Okay, let me ask you this. When did the slaves have the designation of human beings? At creation? Or when the slave master said, I release you? It appears when the slave master said, I release you. But it wasn't that. It was when the slaves decided that they were not going to take it anymore. And it set in motion all the things that happened that led up to the release. But humans, was designated at creation. And it was only realized when the slaves said, no more. when the slaves said no more. The slaves agreed with the Creator. The women agreed with the Creator. Slaves. You know, as I think about that, I got another little example I thought I might want to use and share with you. It had to do with prosperity. Prosperity. When are human beings supposed to experience the benefits of prosperity? When was it designated that they should? At creation? Or when man said, I release it? Well, it appears, well, man hasn't said that yet, so we don't have it. But when will you get it? If we follow the other examples, prosperity will become a natural form across the planet when the people say, no more. When the people agree with creation, when the people agree with the Creator, when the poor, should I say, the poor, don't worry about the rich, when the poor agree with creation, then prosperity will flow like the wind. So what does it take to get the people, the poor, of the poor, to reject it? Poverty. What will it take? It'll take the poor. The poor. It takes the poor to say no more. You who are poor, if you're looking for prosperity, you can't work out of poverty. No, brother, you can't work out of poverty. You got to stand up, and poverty will roll off you. But you got to stand up. And as long as you're sitting down expecting somebody else to roll it off you, it's not going to happen. You got to stand up. When you stand up, you might get some help. But as long as you're sitting down, you will be poor till mutual assured destruction sets in. And when you got poverty existing, when there should be prosperity, I guarantee you, if you don't get rid of poverty, if you don't get rid of poverty, it will eat up all of prosperity. Poverty will eat up all of prosperity. And what happens? We'll all be poor. Bye-bye.